the record at 2:59 p.m.
I'm going to mark as Exhibit 15 a July 28, 2018 email of Dorothy Malveaux to Susan Rice. Did you have a chance to review Exhibit 15?
Yes.
Could you please read the email aloud?
Ms. Rice, a quorum, see Article 5, Section 3 of the SGCIA bylaw of the Board of Directors met on Friday, July 20th, 2018, and voted to terminate the legal representation and services which you have provided to the association effective immediately, Saturday, July 28, 2018. We thank you for your services in the past, however, we feel that this decision is necessary.
Thank you. Did you write that email?
Yes, I typed it.
That email references a vote of the Board of Directors to strike that. Membership assessments are the same for all members, correct?
Yes, they are.
And they're $270 annually
Yes,
Objection form.
and due in January.
yes.
Objection form.
During the time that you worked as the office manager for Sterling Green, did Sterling Green give any members discounts on their assessments?
Objection
Yes,
four.
we did.
And why did it discount their assessments?
Objection four.
We did. We voted to give our seniors a discount, senior citizens.
And was that approved by the board?
Yes, it was.
On what date?
Objection four.
Oh, I don't know. It's supposed to be a while ago.
In what year?
Objection four.
I don't have that information with me.
Did it give discounts for any reasons other than members being senior citizens?
Objection four.
Not that I recall.
While you were office manager, were assessments ever waived for members?
Objection four.
I don't recall.
Did the board ever authorize Sterling Green to waive assessments altogether?
Objection four.
Altogether. Altogether, what you mean?
Completely.
No, I don't know what you mean completely.
Did the board of directors ever authorize Sterling Green to waive assessments so that a member would not have to pay an assessment for a particular year?
Objection four.
Yeah, in some occasions they did.
And when did they do that?
Objection four.
If they did, it was on a one-on-one basis, and I'm not sure when that would have been.
Did the board of directors ever vote to give authority to you or to employees of Sterling Green the power to waive assessments on their own?
Objection four.
We would check with the board on waives.
So is the answer no?
Objection four.
That whether we did it on our own or not?
No, the question is whether the board ever voted to authorize Sterling Green to Sterling Green employees
Right. No.
to make decisions on their own as to whether to waive in whole or in part assessment fees.
No.
Objection four.
It went before the board. It was taken to the board.
So does that mean the board never, is my statement correct that the board never voted to give Sterling Green authority to waive assessments on their own in whole or in part?
Objection four.
As far as I can remember, the board, we presented it to the board, and they decided yea or nay.
I'm going to have an August 3, 2016 email. Of Susan Rice to Dorothy Malveaux, Linda Bass, and Tom Olson. We have an email, and he was invited to that meeting, but he refused to go. Please tell me if I'm reading this correctly. In her emails of August 3, 2018, to you, Bass and Olson, Rice states, I understand that only 2 board members were present at the meeting on July 2018, which means that no business could be conducted because a quorum of the board members were not present as per Article 4, Section 1, and Article 5, Section 3 of the Sterling Green Bylaws. Actually, strike that. Let me just ask you to read the second paragraph of her email.
I understand that only 2, that one that you just read?
Yes.
I understand that only 2 board members were present at the meeting on July 20th, 2018, which means that no business could be conducted because a quorum of the board members were not present as per Article 4, Section 1, and Article 5, Section 3 of the Sterling Green Bylaws. Article 4, Section 1 of the bylaw states that the affairs of the association shall be managed by a board of 5 directors who need not be members of the association. Emphasis added in Article 5, Section 3 states that a majority of the number of directors shall constitute a quorum for the transaction business. Since the number of directors for the association is 5, then a majority is 3 board members, not 2. And nowhere in the bylaws does it state that a quorum of the board is less than a majority of 5.
Thank you. In your email to her, you state a quorum of the Board of Directors met on Friday, July 20, 2018, and voted to terminate the legal representation and services which you have provided effective immediately. Did I read that correctly, the first sentence of your email to Ms. Rice?
Right. At that time, it was only 3 board members. There was only 3 board members on the board. 3 people on the board at that time.
So when Ms. Rice is stating in her email, that a majority of the number of directors shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business, and since the association has 5 directors and a majority is 3, and not 2, and nowhere in the bylaws does it state that a quorum of the board is less than a majority of 5. Are you stating today that you think she's wrong in that assertion?
Objection form.
Yes, well, we only had 3 members. They weren't absent. We only had 3 board members at that time. And we sent him an email and he refused to attend.
So how many board members attended the meeting?
Objection
It was 2 out of 3. Because we invited him, but he refused to attend.
There are 5 positions and always have been 5 positions on the board of directors of Sterling Green, isn't that correct?
Well, in that case, we didn't have 5.
I'm not asking how many persons are actually on the board, I'm asking how many places are on the
We had
board.
5 directors, right?
And in the entire time you worked for Sterling Green, there's only 5 directors.
Yeah,
There's
but
5, there have
5
been-
positions,
Okay. So, do you remember receiving this email from Ms. Rice?
No, I don't recall receiving it.
As you sit here today, do you disagree with her statement that because only 2 board members were present on the meeting on July 20, 2018, that no business could be conducted because a quorum was not present?
Objection.
I don't know. It was only 3 board members. We didn't have 5 board members at that time. So in order to conduct business, 2 out of 3 that we figured was a quorum.
Did you understand that she was telling you that the quorum must be based upon the total number of director positions and not on the total number of persons who are actually on the board at any given time?
No, we thought it was the number of people that was on board, because we can't conduct business, until we get, it's not going to be 5 until we get some other people on the board. So we figured we have 3 board members, current board members. So 2 out of those 3 is a quorum to conduct the business.
And Ms. Rice essentially told you she disagreed with you, correct?
Yeah, that's what she said, I guess.
Are you an attorney?
No, I'm not an attorney.
Did you go to law school?
No, I didn't go to law school.
And she also said in the first paragraph that she is currently handling different legal matters on behalf of the association, and that she was scheduled to meet with the bylaw committee the following week. Would it be fair to assume from that statement that she was not acting on the assumption that her relationship with Sterling Green as its attorney had been terminated?
Objection 4.
I don't know what she thought.
I'm going to mark as Exhibit 17 a document that is entitled Sterling Green Financial Transactions. And it appears to list the accounts for individual members. Have you had a chance to review Exhibit 17?
I haven't reviewed that, no, each page, no, I haven't. Please take a look at Exhibit 17. It has the names of persons up in the upper right-hand corner. And please tell me if you recognize the names of any of those persons as members of Sterling Green. Yes, it's a few names that I recognize.
As members of Sterling Green.
Yes. Mhm.
Can you identify any resolutions or meeting minutes in which the board authorized Sterling Green to give discounts on their assessments to senior citizens?
Objection 4.
Can I identify any minutes?
Minutes or
Mhm.
resolution that reflect the board authorizing Sterling Green to waive or to give discounts to senior citizens?
No, but they were in the board meeting minutes, but I don't know when.
And what was the amount of the discount for senior citizens?
Objection 4.
I'm not sure. We were given some 20% off, and then it depended on, sometimes it depended on their situation. We would waive the whole thing, and then sometime it was 20%.
And so can you identify any meeting minutes or resolutions of the Board of Directors in which they gave authority to Sterling Green to vary the amount of the discounts it gave to senior citizens?
No.
And when you say it depends on their situation, the amount of the discount, what do you mean by that?
Objection 4.
Well, it was 20, we had a little system set up, it was 20% to seniors, 65 and
But
over.
earlier you said something about their situation. What did you mean by
Well,
their situation?
sometime the board, if a person couldn't pay, the board would look at their situation and take it into consideration to help them.
And is that reflected in the minutes of the board?
Yes.
Objection 4.
Mm-hmm.
At the time that you left the employment of Sterling Green in 2018, did minutes for all board meetings and all board executive meetings back to 2014 exist?
They should have, yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that among the documents that were destroyed would be minutes in which that reflect the board authorizing Sterling Green to give discounts?
Objection 4.
I don't know, it could have been.
Did any employee or director of Sterling Green have a Sterling Green credit card that had been issued to Sterling Green by a bank or other financial or credit card company in 2017?
Objection 4.
Yes, I had one.
Anyone else?
No,
What bank issued the credit card?
Wells Fargo.
During what years did you have use of a Wells Fargo credit card issued to Sterling Green?
Objection 4.
Not sure. Can't remember how long.
Was it several years?
Yes.
Objection 4.
Why was a Sterling Green credit card issued to you?
Objection 4.
To purchase supplies and things for the office and the maintenance.
To your knowledge, while you were the manager for Sterling Green, did any other employee at any point ever have a Sterling Green credit card?
No.
Objection 4.
Did anyone else use the Sterling Green credit card that was issued to you?
Objection 4.
No.
What was the, strike that. Would it be accurate to say that anytime you needed to purchase something for Sterling Green as office manager, you would use the Sterling Green Wells Fargo credit card?
Yes.
Objection 4.
Would it be fair to say that you would not use your own cash or money to buy things and then submit expense reports to Sterling Green?
No.
Objection 4. Objection
No.
Is that true or is it not
No,
true?
I never use my, use cash or my own personal credit card for anything.
Are there minutes or resolutions reflecting a decision by the Board of Directors to authorize you to use a Sterling Green credit card?
Objection
To
4.
use a credit card? Yes, I said that. I said yes.
And what was the date, what is the date on which that meeting occurred?
Objection
I don't recall. It's been a while. I've had it for a long time.
On the second page of Exhibit 6, there's an entry of May 27, 2009 that indicates reimbursement for office supplies. Were you ever reimbursed by Sterling Green for the purchase of office supplies?
Objection 4.
Yeah, I don't, it's been a while. I may have and been reimbursed. I don't remember back then. 'Cause
So
normally-
you may have made cash purchases and then
Before,
been
before I got a credit card, yes, uh-huh.
Objection 4.
There's an entry of November 10, 2016 that indicates refund Lowe's personal credit card used for HOA, amount $80.96. Do you remember that?
Objection
No, I
4.
don't.
Was the $100 that you got for mileage, do you remember us talking about the $100 you received every pay
Yes.
period for mileage? Did that include gas?
Objection 4.
It was for gas, yes. Mhm.
If you needed to purchase gas for your car as a
Mhm.
result of work performed for the
Mhm.
benefit of Sterling Green, why
Mhm.
didn't you just use the Sterling Green credit card?
Objection 4.
The board put that in place in 2007. That was their decision.
I'm going to object as non-responsive. My question is, if you had a credit card that was issued to you by Sterling Green that you could use to purchase gas,
Mhm.
why were you being compensated in cash at the same time you had that credit card for gas expenses?
Objection 4.
I was not, I didn't want gas in my car on the HOA credit card.
So there's no gas charges on the HOA credit card?
No, shouldn't be, you know. I was getting it was for gas, it was for other cars, other vehicles as well, you know.
So was the credit card used or not used for the purchase of gasoline?
Objection 4.
Yeah, for gas, for the other HOA cars, not my personal car.
Okay. I'm going to mark as Exhibit 18 an affidavit of Livingston Hampton. Please take a look at that. Was Sharon Provost fired at one point?
Well, she was fired by someone who was not authorized to fire her,
Who fired her?
Kathy Harbottle.
Objection 4.
Is it, do you know whether the board of directors directed Kathy Harbottle? Both Harbottle and Provost were employees of the Sterling Green at one
Right.
point.
Yes.
Do you know whether the board of directors instructed Harbottle to fire Provost?
No, I don't know. We didn't instruct her to do that.
Have you ever terminated any Sterling Green employees?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What are the names of the employees you've terminated?
Well, it's been plenty in the past.
How about the past 2 years?
Well, Kathy Harbottle,
Why did you terminate Kathy Harbottle?
because she was insubordinate.
How was she insubordinate?
She was firing somebody and without authority to do that.
And who was she firing?
She was firing Sharon Provost.
Was there any other reason you terminated Kathy Harbottle?
She was, like I said, she was just insubordinate with that and maybe some other things. But
Objection
That for one thing.
non-responsive. Were there any other reasons you fired Kathy Harbottle?
no, it was not me. It was a board decision.
And on what date did the board vote to authorize you to terminate Harbottle?
The date on that letter that he gave you.
I'm marking a letter of July 11, 2018 from Dorothy Malveaux to Kathy Harbottle.
Mm-hmm.
Would you
Okay.
please read the letter aloud?
This letter serves as your official notice of termination effective immediately as of July 11, 2018 at 9 a.m. This was agreed upon by 2 of the 3 current board members. Your services are no longer needed due to firing office staff without the authority of the board of directors. You assume responsibilities and duties that are not within the scope of your job duties. We thank you for your time and service to Sterling Green CIA and wish you the best in your future.
So this is based upon part on your belief that 2 of the 3 current board members constitutes a quorum that can make decisions such as hiring
Right,
and firing.
mhm, yes.
Objection 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be accurate to say that you did not agree with Attorney Rice's conclusion that only a minimum of 3 board members constitute a quorum for the purpose of doing something like firing an employee.
Objection
Well, I
4.
checked with another attorney, and he told us if we only had 3 board members, we had to use the quorum out of what we had.
What was the name of that?
I can't
attorney?
remember. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to conduct any business.
Why did you, are there mechanisms in place for replacing board members? Let me back up for a second. There were only 3 board members at that time
Right.
in the summer of 2018
Mhm.
because, what was the reason? What happened to the other 2?
Objection 4.
One lady stepped down, and, well, 2 of them stepped down.
And are there mechanisms in place in the bylaws and/or the declarations for replacing board members who have resigned? Did you utilize those mechanisms?
Objection.
No, not at that time, we didn't. It takes time to figure out who you wanna ask to, get on the board. It just takes, it's a process.
So it was better to keep going with 3 board members than to have a full complement of 5 board members?
Yes, at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, Kathy Herbottle, even though she received that letter, she didn't leave the office. She was still hired on. She was still there. So she did not abide by that letter that we gave her.
I'm going to tender you Exhibit 18. It's the affidavit of Livingston Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
And that letter concerns the March 2018 elections for the Board of Directors, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Does this letter indicate that Tom Olson received 264 votes in the 2018 election?
That's what it
Objection
indicates.
4.
Does the exhibit indicate Gloria Cox received 264 votes?
Yes.
Objection 4.
We talked earlier about the 10% minimum requirement, the quorum, where you need at least 200 or so out of the total 2,200 members at a Sterling Green meeting that's going to elect members of the Board of Directors.
Objection 4.
Is the 264 votes Tom Olson got greater than 200?
Objection 4.
It's on, yeah, I guess it's there on the paper. He got
And-
proxies. It was not ballots, it was proxies that he went around.
Objection. Any answer is going to be misleading because of the way you worded the question.
Do you dispute that Tom Olson was legally elected to the board?
Objection 4.
I don't know whether he was or not.
Did Susan Rice inform you shortly after that election that Olson had been legally elected to the board?
Objection 4.
She told it to the community when they were there, because it was disputed.
Was that one of the incidents where Susan Rice provided you legal advice you didn't like?
Objection 4.
I don't remember that.
The first Board of Directors meeting in which Tom Olson attended was a meeting on April 2nd, 2018. Did you attend that meeting?
No,
No.
no,
Why did you not attend?
because I wasn't there because he terminated me, I think the day before, whatever situation, something was going on.
Are you sure that you were, strike that. Is it possible you were not terminated until the day after the April 2nd, 2018 meeting?
Yeah, maybe so, yeah, maybe I was, maybe it was, I know it was the 3rd, but I don't remember if I attended that meeting or not, I can't remember.
Do you contend that the meeting scheduled for April 2nd, 2018 was given an improper or insufficient advance notice?
Objection 4.
Don't recall.
Do you contend that anything that occurred at that meeting that did not comply with the laws and bylaws and declarations applicable to Sterling Green?
Objection.
Objection 4.
I don't recall. I don't even remember that I was there.
The agenda for the April 2nd, 2018 meeting, hold on a second. I'm going to have the agenda for the Sterling Green Community Improvement Meeting of April 2nd, 2018 identified as Exhibit 20. The meeting minutes for the April 2nd meeting, 2018, identified as, marked as Exhibit 21. The agenda for the executive session of April 2nd, 2018, marked as Exhibit 22. The executive session public summary for the April 2000 meeting marked as Exhibit 23. And the executive session meeting minutes for the April 2nd, 2018 meeting marked as Exhibit 24. And the resolution of Sterling Green Community Association of April 2nd, 2018, marked as Exhibit 25. The agenda for the meeting included discussion of an investigation of the Department of Labor and the expected settlement that will involve a payment of $80,000 to $85,000 by Sterling Green. Did that investigation stem from your decision to hire security guards instead of a security company for Sterling Green, and your failure to pay those security guards overtime?
Objection 4.
Objection 4.
It was a board decision, whatever we did.
Was there a Department of Labor investigation of Sterling Green?
Yes, it
Objection
was.
4.
And did it stem from its hiring of security guards?
It wasn't hiring of security guards.
What was it, what did it stem from?
It was like, they were saying that it was, they didn't get the overtime.
They didn't get paid for all the time that they worked?
Overtime, yes, time. Mhm.
They didn't get paid for overtime?
Yes, uh-huh.
Was the allegation true?
No,
No?
no, it wasn't true.
You did pay them for their overtime?
They agreed to be paid a set amount. And I was not assured, the labor guy talked to me, and he understood that they were supposed to be set paid at a certain rate, set rate.
regardless of how much time they worked.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that way you wouldn't have to worry about overtime.
Objection form.
Yes, That's the way it was set up at the company that they were at,
And what company was that?
Seal Security.
Objection form.
Are you stating that it was the practice of Seal to not pay their employees overtime?
Objection form.
I don't know whether they paid them overtime or not.
Matters on the agenda also included election of officers of Sterling Green, CIA Board of Directors, implementation of a TOPS 1 management system, software and computer purchases, feasibility study of camera surveillance system, move to business Google Solutions, and adjournment to meet in executive session.
Objection
Was the
form.
software in place? Did you use software in the office at Sterling Green, in the business office?
Yes.
Was the software up to date as of April 2018?
It was, it was what we had. I don't know what you mean by up to date.
What software did you use in April?
I can't remember.
I'm going to hand you Exhibit 20 and ask you if you've ever seen that document before.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it.
The next document, I'm going to hand you meeting minutes for the Board of Directors meeting of April 2nd, 2018, Exhibit 21. And I'm going to ask you, does that include your name at the top as one of the members of the Board of Directors?
Yeah, it was, but I've never seen this document.
Does it indicate whether, I'm sorry, does the document indicate whether or not you attended that meeting?
I was not there. I wasn't, I missed, I think I missed April. I was not there because I missed 2 meetings and I came back in July.
And so, does the document indicate that?
No, it doesn't indicate that I wasn't there. So my name shouldn't be on there because I was not there.
Board meetings present, do you see where it says yes or no next to each person's name?
Mm-hmm. But I was
What
not.
does it say next to your name?
It says no, so but I have never seen that document.
But this document is consistent with your recollection that you did not attend the
I
meeting,
was not
correct?
there.
Objection form.
Yeah.
Did someone tell you that Tom Olson spent money on software and computers without authorization?
Yeah, someone told me that.
Who?
I don't know, it could have been several people.
I'm going to ask you to read a passage on the second page of Exhibit 21. It starts with a motion from Tom Olson. aloud, please.
A motion from Tom Olson to implement TOPS 1 for the association was voted with a majority by Tom Olson and Gloria Cox to enter into contract with TOP Software.
Thank you. Can you tell me, in looking at the top of this document, I know you said you were not present, and it indicates as much. Can you tell me, does this document identify the members of the Board of Directors who were present at the April 2nd, 2018 meeting?
Objection form.
Yes.
And who does it identify as present?
Linda Bass, Tom Olson, and Linda Bass and Tom Olson. And it says, is it a quorum? Yes.
Does it also?
Wanda Pate, she wasn't there, Gloria Cox. I didn't
So
see those.
it indicates Gloria Cox was there.
Yes, Wanda Pate was not there.
So
That's
it
what says.
indicates there's a total of 3 directors
Oh,
present.
yes, mm-hmm.
This is Exhibit 22 from the same meeting. It is the agenda for the executive session of the Board of Directors meeting of April 2018. Have you seen that document before?
No, I haven't.
Can you take a look at the second page of that document?
Okay, that's a lot of stuff on there.
Does that document on page 2, does it include the phrase dismissal of Dorothy Malveaux as manager of the association and then list the reasons?
I guess. I don't know.
I'm going to go through these and I'm going to ask you if these are true. Under 2, dismissal of Dorothy Malveaux as manager of the association. Number 1, failed as manager and treasurer to supervise an employee who has stolen in excess of $114,000. First, did an employee steal in excess of $114,000?
Objection form.
I'm not sure about the amount, but yes, she did.
She stole money from the association?
Yes, she did.
Objection form.
Mm-hmm.
The second item is failure to follow bylaws of association with regard to bonding those who handle association finances, keeping us from recovering the $114,000 as required in the bylaws. What was the name of the employee in question?
Objection.
Melissa Davis.
And was she bonded?
No, she wasn't.
Why was she not bonded?
Objection form.
The board didn't require that I be bonded or she be bonded or any employee was bonded.
Did the bylaws require that she be bonded?
I'm not sure.
Form.
Another item, the third item is obstruction of board members to perform their duties under the bylaws. Did you obstruct board members?
Objection form.
No.
4 is failure to keep and maintain corporate records of affairs and allowing the destruction of records prior to 2014, whereas they are required by the Texas Property Code and the Texas Nonprofit Corporation Code for a period of not less than 7 years as required by the bylaws. Article 6, Section 2A,
Objection form.
where there is not any allowance of their destruction. We've already talked about the fact that the records for prior to 2014 were destroyed at some point, correct?
Objection form.
I'm not sure if it's 14 or 12. I'm not sure.
But there were records that were destroyed at some point, correct?
But we usually do them, yeah.
Objection form.
Anything 7 years and older, we would shred.
Well, this meeting takes place in April of 18. As of April of 18, (2013) is only 5 years prior to 2018, correct?
Objection, form.
Yes. Mhm.
Number 5 is failure to keep and maintain a complete record of financial affairs as required by the Texas Property Code and the Nonprofit Corporation Act. Was that allegation accurate?
Objection form.
No.
Violations of the next item is violations of the Fair Labor Standards Act regarding the payment of overtime to Sterling Green employees. Was that allegation accurate?
Objection form.
Number 7, violation of National Labor Relations Act, where she told employees not to associate outside of the office, and where she subsequently fired 2 employees not in supervisory roles who developed a personal relation.
Objection form.
Did you fire 2 employees who were in a personal relationship?
No. One of them was terminated because he, but I don't, not 2 at the same time. I don't recall that.
Did you fire anyone for being in a relationship with another employee?
Objection, form.
Yes, I did. Hmm.
What was the name of the employee?
I can't remember. That's been some years ago.
It also says you would not let security officers use the restrooms in the office. Was that true?
Objection, form.
In the office? No, not in the main office. They used the men's restroom. We had 2 restrooms, women and men. They used the men's restroom.
The next item is violations of the Americans with Disabilities Act denying more than one resident use of the public restroom after business hours. Was that accurate?
Objection form.
No, I don't know. I don't recall.
The next item is violations of the Texas Security Act because you're under investigation for not following the licensing requirements for security personnel. Was that accurate?
Objection form.
The next item is violations of the Texas Penal Code for breaching her fiduciary duty to homeowners for issuing discounts for disabilities and seniors without resolution, allowing such and only certain people to receive this special discount.
Objection form.
The amount of discounts exceeds $20,000, making her actions punishable as a state felony. Was that allegation accurate?
Objection
No.
form.
No.
The next allegation is violations of the penal code for waiving assessments for her friends.
Objection form.
Wrong.
Is that
Incorrect.
true?
No.
Form.
Please take a look at Exhibit 23.
Where is
Have
it?
you ever seen that document before?
No.
The document states on April 2nd, 2018, the Board of Directors met and held an executive session. The topics were the following in the presence of Susan Rice: a personnel matter and collections policy with corporate counsel. Do you know what either of those are referring to?
No, I don't.
Did you eventually, at some point, make accusations regarding Tom Olson's conduct in connection with Sterling Green?
I may have. He did the same thing to me.
Okay. So my question is, did you review any of the April 2018 meeting minutes or agenda documents prior to making those accusations?
I don't recall, but I mean, he made accusations about me and posted personal stuff on the website.
I'm going to object as non-responsive. The documents that I've given you thus far today regarding the April 2018 meeting, would you agree with me you have not seen those previously?
I have not seen them.
You were a member of the board of directors in 2018 in April and May, correct?
Right, yes,
In June 2018.
yes.
You had the opportunity as a director to review, and as a member to review those documents, correct?
Objection form.
I didn't have any contact with him because he was the one who wrote those up, so.
Is it among your job duties as a manager to review meeting minutes, meeting agendas?
I was not a manager at that time.
You were a director.
Yes, I was.
Is it part of your, do you consider a part of your job responsibilities as a director to review minutes for meetings that you do not attend?
Objection 4.
Not if they're not given to me.
Did you ask for them?
No, I didn't.
Please take a look at Exhibit 25. It's a resolution of the Sterling Green Board of Directors.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that document before?
No, I haven't.
Does this document indicate that on April 2nd, 2018, the Board of Directors adopted a resolution changing the individuals who are authorized to sign checks on behalf of the association, with the new individuals being authorized to sign checks being Tom Olson and Gloria Cox?
That's what it
Objection.
says.
Did you know that that document was created pursuant to the advice of Attorney Susan Rice?
Objection 4.
Did I do what?
Did you know that that document was created
No,
pursuant to
I
the
didn't know.
recommendation of Susan Rice?
No, I didn't.
Objection form.
I'm going to give you exhibit which should have been, previous exhibit is 25. This one was accidentally marked as 24. It is executive session meeting minutes, Sterling Green Community Improvement Association Board of Directors meeting, April 2nd, 2018. Have you seen that document before?
No. No.
Does this document indicate that the board voted 2-0 to terminate Gloria Malveaux? I suppose it should be Dorothy, but it says Gloria, but to terminate the office manager. Does it say that?
Objection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says that.
Do you believe that Tom Olson stole money from Sterling Green?
Objection.
I was told, but I wasn't, didn't evidence. I mean, I was told that he did.
And who told you that?
Several people.
And
A
what
lot
are
of
their
people.
names?
I don't have their names.
So you're told by several people, yet you were
Different
told
people.
none of their names?
Yeah. Homeowners, other homeowners and everything, yeah.
That's a pretty serious charge, and yet several people made the charge, and you don't remember any of their names.
No, I don't. No, I mean, it's just in the,
Do you know when
No.
you were told this?
no, it's just different times. I don't know, it's a lot of stuff on the next door and people printing stuff on next door and whatever.
Did you remove money from, did the association have a checking account with Wells Fargo?
Yes,
Did you remove money from the Wells Fargo checking account in response to people telling you that Tom Olson had stolen money from Sterling Green?
Objection form.
no,
Did they tell you how much money he stole?
no,
Did you see any documents that made you think Tom Olson had stolen money from the association?
no. No, I didn't see any documents.
Do you believe Tom Olson took money from the association and kept it that belonged to it?
I don't know. I don't know Tom Olson.
Would you, Tom Olson served for a time on the Sterling Green Board of Directors and as president, correct?
Objection form.
He served what?
He served for a time on the Sterling Green Board of
He
Directors
served
and
as
as
a board of
president.
director. I don't know what you mean about full-time.
There was a period in the past in which he was on the Board of Directors.
Yes, right.
Objection form.
Mhm.
Do you believe that Mr. Olson was careless at any point
I don't know
while
anything.
he was on the Board of
I
Directors?
don't know anything about Tom Olson.
Well, it's not so much whether you know him, it's about whether you know anything about what happened while he was on the Board of Directors. You two did serve on the board together for a time,
For a
correct?
short
Objection
time,
form.
couple of months.
And during that short time, are you
Mhm.
aware, did you arrive at the belief that he was careless in performing his duties as a member of the Board of Directors?
Yes, uh-huh.
And what was that belief?
Yeah, he just like totally just took over everything. I was not in the office. We weren't aware, like all the documents there. We never saw that, never received it, and so it was, you know, it's just he doing whatever he wanted to do.
And we've already covered that you never requested documents from the April 2018
No, I
meeting.
didn't.
What are the duties of a person, of a director, such as a person who is on the Sterling Green Board of Directors? What are their duties?
To, as a group, to come together to talk and vote and decide on the things to do for the betterment of the community.
As part of your duties as a manager, did you deliver documents to board members?
No, what documents? I mean,
Any documents?
I didn't deliver any documents. We had a meeting, and whatever they needed to see, we presented at the meeting. Oh, this is not.
As the manager of the association, you created, and your office created documents related to board meetings, correct? Such as agendas and minutes and things
Yes.
like that.
Mhm.
Did your office deliver those documents or make sure those documents were received by board members?
The board members received the documents. We talked about it, and they received the documents, you know, when everybody else did at the meetings. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, did you have a means of delivering documents to board members outside of meetings, such as email or anything like that?
We did, I don't know what you're talking about. We had our meeting and we discussed, told them what needed to be discussed, and we discussed it at the meetings.
If as manager, while you were manager for Sterling Green and you wanted to get a document to a board member, how would you get it to them?
Objection form.
I don't recall.
Do you believe Olson failed to act with integrity while he was performing his duties as a member of the Sterling Green Board of Directors?
Objection form.
No comment.
Objection non-responsive. Do you believe Olson failed to act with integrity when performing his duties as a member of the Sterling Green Board of Directors and as president?
Objection form.
I don't know.
You
No
don't
comments.
know.
No comments.
I'm going to object as non-responsive.
I don't know what he did.
So the answer is I don't know.
Right, I don't know what he did.
I'm not asking you what he did. I'm asking you if he failed to act with integrity while he was a board member and while he was president of Sterling Green.
Objection form.
I don't know.
Do you know what the term fiduciary duty means?
No, I don't.
Do you believe Tom Olson devoted Sterling Green money to his personal use while performing his duties as a member of the Sterling Green Board and as president?
Don't know.
Do you believe Tom Olson made false representations to the Sterling Green Board of Directors or to the members while performing his duties as a member of the Sterling Green Board of Directors and as president?
Objection form.
I don't know.
Do you believe that Tom Olson took personal property from Sterling Green while he was a member of the Sterling Green Board of Directors?
Objection form.
I don't know.
Do you believe that Tom Olson engaged in fraud at the expense of Sterling Green?
Objection form.
I don't know.
Do you believe he obtained a monetary benefit of any kind through his service on the Board of Directors of Sterling Green or as president of the board?
Objection form.
Don't know.
Are members of the Board of Directors paid?
No.
Are you looking for work at present?
No.
Are you retired?
Yes.
We can go to over an hour.
Okay. Okay.
Off the record.